Everybody, welcome to another episode of Proficient Fans. My name is CB, and with me is
Clay Haggard.
Clay. What's poppin', buddy?
Don't mind me just watching the fantasy playoffs because I'm not in them.
I'm in third. I'm going for third place in two, which sucks because
I feel like you and I both got upset a lot in our playoffs. Even the other league itself, you finished first, got upset in the playoffs.
Yep.
I finished third, respectable, and got upset in the playoffs. I was like, man. I mean, Nick did go to the championship. And the guy who beat you is also in the championship.
Yeah.
So I guess if we're going to lose to someone who's fighting for a championship.
But what kind of chaps my ass is just Josh Jacobs, worst fucking game of the season.
Dude, I honestly, most people's teams are shitting the bed in the playoffs.
You know, I'm so befuddled by that. I'm not even going to look.
Yeah, don't even waste your time. You looked anyways.
Yeah, well, now I just realized Jalen Hurts is now doubtful.
Yeah, I do it. Everyone, Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry. I mean, those two names alone are the heavy hitters. But yeah,
this shit bothers me because like I put together a great and a couple. Well, one's a dynasty.
Yep. Aren't you fighting for first pick in? No, I'm sorry. Maybe you're not in Dynasty Volume 2. I think you might have lost in the same round as I did last week.
Yeah, I didn't make the playoffs, so
no, I know. But consolation, if you win, you get first pick,
yeah,
which in a rookie draft
is huge.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah,
because a lot of people will say in redrafts like, "Oh, well, I don't want the first pick," and actually, that's an okay argument.
Yeah,
like if you'd rather have 1.04 out of 8 or 10 teams, I won't argue if you don't want 1.1. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't like the first overall pick; it's too big of a risk. But you're comfortable with, third or fourth overall running back.
You're sitting there, you're like, oh, you know what? Like this guy's solid. I mean, like when you go for the first and second picks, that's a boomer bust pick.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, because we've seen it numerous times.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, like I do care about that one too, but I mean, I was upset now about getting a championship run.
Yeah.
And in Volume 2, that team there, the fact that I was even close enough to even be in the playoffs surprised the shit out of me. Because even after the draft, I looked at my team and I go, I fucked up. You know, like I just realized some things that I fucked up because I went real young and I didn't get a lot of, and where I did get like a veteran, it was like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You know, where I really screwed the pooch on that one. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just going to have to make up for it on this rookie draft. And
yep. Yeah, you got your Lions to root for. It's more important than any fantasy.
This is absolutely 100%.
It really is. More than any fantasy championship I could win, the Dolphins making the playoffs or winning a Super Bowl will always trump all. Always.
By far.
Always. Like it's not even something like someone could be like, you can win 10 straight fantasy football championships in a row, or your Dolphins will win the Super Bowl this year. I'm taking the Dolphins Super Bowl. As much as a 10-year grind of fantasy dominance would be cool, and there is a little bit of money in that, there are people who will go their entire life without seeing their team win a championship. So what means more at the end of the day?
Yeah.
What are you going to talk to your friends and family and reminisce with your kids about? You know,
they're not going to remember my fantasy team in 2022.
And that's the thing, is it gives me bragging rights with my friends, but that's something like my dad and I and my buddy Steve will have forever.
To go forever, yep. No,
you know what I mean? Like that's a big deal, man.
I will always put I will always put my team over fantasy, but if I do enjoy it when they both work out for me.
Yeah, oh yeah, come on now. It's just, them doesn't make for as fun of a talking topic as, hey, how about they both just do well? That'd be nice, though.
Oh, man. So, we just broke in a new year. Happy New Year, Clay.
Happy New Year.
Tell me, anything fun last night? Or you like me? And
college football.
I was going to say, I was pretty lame myself and just kicked it, but...
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've personally always thought New Year's is always kind of a, like, too far hyped up holiday. Like, it's really never been my thing. Even when I was going out every New Year's doing shit, I still was always like, wow, this is literally just an excuse to party. That's all it is.
100%.
It's another day. And there's more to it, resolutions and all that kind of stuff.
But I also think resolutions are, like, am I going into, okay, I have a whole new calendar year, right? What am I going to try and get accomplished this calendar year? Yeah, I kind of do. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, to make a huge fuss about it being this is the day I'm going to start. Like,
yeah, no,
you know,
for
like,
sure.
As soon as you decide something, you should be like,
agreed.
Hey, this is the day. Like for Proficient Fans, I knew that how I wanted to start Proficient Fans out for the new year was, you know, video recording and, you know, uploading this and doing things like that. So I put, like, this is the date we're going to do it. Why? Because it's a calendar year. I look at it as a business fiscal. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, to me, that made sense. And I watch these, a lot of the information that I get as far as trying how to figure out how to make all this shit correlate and work together. And I'm gonna shout them out because I really enjoy their content, and it's Think Media on YouTube.
Think Media.
Yeah. You know, their whole thing is just go out and shoot, you know, like essentially just, you know, upload and do whatever, and you know, it's gonna suck at first, and you just eat the suck, but continue to work on getting better, you know. And what I was kept on doing was I was overly like, I want it to be perfect. And you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
This first video may be trash.
Yeah.
But we're going to try our best, and we're going to continue to move forward and actually make it better, and make this a channel that, you know, our viewers will enjoy.
Yeah. And hopefully provide some value.
Well, I mean,
is there any better feeling than just providing value to someone?
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think that
in entertainment.
I was gonna say, I think
that
we're
comes
entertaining.
That comes naturally.
So if I could, I enjoy YouTube. I probably watch.
Love YouTube. I have YouTube Premium.
Besides,
fuck them ads. Fuck them ads.
No, you don't want that. They actually want people to watch those ads. That's how.
I have a degree in advertising. I am allowed to say it, bro. I have a marketing job. Fuck them ads.
Yeah. Oh well, you know, as YouTubers, they would say quite the opposite because that's how they make money.
I know.
But
as soon as we start making money, I'm like, hell yeah, bring on them ads. Bring on them ads.
So. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that. I mean, like, the whole, but, like, you know, I want to get healthy. Get healthy today. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, not today, like, because it's the first, but I mean, like, the day that you say I want to do it, you know, put your start date in mind, and just be like, this is when I'm going to start doing this. Yep. This is when I'm going to start, you know, reading more books, or, you know, or anything like that. Whatever is going to bring value to you, which in turn be able to bring value to others. To me, it doesn't make sense to wait till the 1st of January.
However, it gives people a very good, puts them in a good headspace to take advantage of a new calendar year. No,
and
hence resolutions and tradition and all that. I'm with you. I'm not discrediting anything you're saying. But what I'm also telling people is don't feel as if because now you're making that decision now, it shouldn't mean any less than any other day.
Anything that's going to bring value to your life, I'm a for. But I mean, like, I just...
People are listening. They're like, what about your video, CB? Why'd you wait till today?
Well, but that's what I was explaining. I was just like, you know what? This is kind of like a business decision that, hey, we'll start out the new year doing it then. And that's what I was kind of getting about Think Media was, you know, I completely went against what they would say. And they would have just said, put up all the trash videos that you and I did prior to today. Right?
Mm-hmm. All trash stuff? Oh, those ones. Yeah, those ones.
No, you know, but I mean, you know, I just wanted, you know, to be able to bring the best value and content sounding. I mean, like, the sound was being my issue, you know, getting this to work right for us. It was not about, you know, the recording, the segments, or anything like that. It was I'm just not getting good sound, and I was having to figure that out, and having a full-time job, kids, and I don't stay up late. I should, I guess. 2023, 4 hours of sleep a night. Let's fucking go. No, I'm out. No. So, but who knows? Maybe. But anyways, yeah. I'm happy for everybody, and I really wish everybody the best of luck on these resolutions. But, you know, just because it doesn't work out, and then you don't, June, don't say, at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Yeah, fuck it. June, you just start over again. Just continue to work on that resolution. Don't just give up on it. Always look back at it and be like, okay, I said I was going to do it. It's beginning of a new year. Okay, I get it. Beginning of the year is like this whole new, fresh restart for accountability of yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Is that kind of what you're saying? The reason why people wait till the 1st of January?
I just feel like, for lack of better words, it's an excuse.
Okay.
People, you know what I mean? It's there. It's an easy way of saying today's the day. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I don't mean that negatively, but it just is. I mean,
I was gonna say, so like this morning, there were certain things just that like going through my head. I'm like, you know what? This is like, and I guess I get it, but I mean, they're just things that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start implementing these things, because
they're just reminders, man. Just like Thanksgiving, people all of a sudden then want to call family and talk to people they haven't spoken to in a long time. Be thankful. It's just trends. People follow calendar trends.
Well, I wish everybody the best of luck, and I hope that I can continue to try to improve myself as well. So
agreed.
Do you do any special resolutions or anything like that?
No.
Yeah, just kind of.
I didn't even make one. I don't think I've made resolutions in a while, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm in the same mentality. I'm like, why make them today? Like, why today is there's nothing special about today? And I think I try and have that look because I just don't want to be dependent on something like a date to accomplish goals or start new trends. And so I'm in the same mindset as you. That's why I don't look at it as a weakness or anything like that. Like if the first of the year is good, I just want everyone else to understand there's no judgment in that zone. But however, if you ask me like, why don't you do resolutions? I'm like, well, why wait? Why, you know what I mean?
Might as well just get right to it and do it.
Life is all just decisions.
Yeah.
Making decision and there's an outcome and then you react.
But like
that's life.
You also got to think about the fact of like, CB, why did you wait to do video until January 1st? Well, it's all true. It's all strategic.
If we would have had it figured out,
it would have been we would have been
doing this 3 months ago.
I said today was like the deadline.
Yeah.
That was my deadline to start getting it up.
Well, and to be fair, the goal was to avoid buying more equipment.
Yes.
So we were trying to figure it out organically through software of how it will sound good. And we realized that it might take a piece of hardware to get the quality we were looking for.
Yes. Because at the end of the day, it's the sound.
It fell on this week.
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, it was a deadline of this is when we're going to start doing it.
Yeah.
We got to get it figured out before then, and so, luckily I hit my deadline. Yep. But I was going to say it's all strategic. I mean, think about when we were 4.5 years ago, 4 years and what?
4 years, 2 months.
Yeah, 4 years, 2 months. That's what I was going to say. We were talking about when to actually start releasing the first podcast, and I said, well, let's just do it at the beginning of basketball season. Because by the time that we had decided that this is what we were going to do, football season was already underway, and I was like, I just don't want to. Yeah. I'd much rather start at the beginning of some kind of a season and roll out that way rather than, just randomly popping up during the middle of the NFL. So, these are just thoughts that go through my head. So, oh goodness. We have college football. There's a couple things I want to just touch base with very first. I want to give a big shout out to my man, Ed Reed. Mm-hmm. He's the latest Hall of Fame football player to go to an HBCU and become a coach. He has agreed to become the head coach of Bethune-Cookman, which is located in Daytona Beach. I really hope that he can have the same kind of success as the likes of Dion and Eddie George. Just being able to make a change in direction of what your life was doing. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed him when he would do these little guest spots and all that stuff. I think Ed Reed's hilarious.
Yeah, passionate to say the least.
Yeah, I would have loved to have played with that guy.
Yeah,
I actually, you know what? I would be like him and Ray. Could you imagine being on that team? Like, you either have to as a person, elevate yourself so much to their intensity, or you will be pushed the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like the amount of love and intensity that they had while they played, I can only imagine Ed Reed being able to get that relayed to his team coaching. It's almost like the Dan Campbell, just you get caught up in that feeling and you're just like, I'll run through a brick wall for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't really have much. I just really wanted to shout him out.
Sure.
And I love seeing the fact that former players are getting more active. I want him to stay out of this media space. Because, I mean, when you get the likes of the Kelsey brothers doing it and, all that shit, and I'm like, man, you guys are fucking hilarious. And,
Yeah.
It's not crowded. But
I hear you. Yeah, no, congrats, Ed Reed. That's cool. Hell of a player. Hopefully he turns out to be a hell of a coach.
Yeah, being arrested. And once again, it's just helping keeping HBCU's name relevant. Now he's got to go down there and win. That's going to actually help bring more attention.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason why when Deion did it and he won, that's the reason. And take a note from, I don't know if Ed Reed's this kind of guy, but take notes from what Deion has done when he was there. He had a team, a social media team.
Yeah.
Constantly putting out content. Build up the hype.
Yep.
Build up the love. Build up, all this information and knowledge that's going to be able to be put over onto and attention that could be put onto HBCU football. And we'll see more teams getting notoriety, more TV games, and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so. I started the Coach Prime documentary series.
Okay, yeah. I haven't checked that out.
Yeah, I'm halfway through the first episode, and then Michigan State tipped off Friday. So I was like, all right, sorry, Prime, gotta go. We gotta watch this game. But
fair.
But yeah, I want to jump back on that, finish the first episode, watch the second episode. That's all that's out.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, it's cool. Seeing how he approached a lot of those situations and just getting that behind the scenes vibe. But I mean, dude, that starts with a social media team, which is huge. And then you're like, oh, well, we should do a documentary, slap that together. And, there's so many bonuses that are going to come from a doc like this. And not just for kids, not just for entertainment, but for other, former athletes aspiring to be head coaches. And, it's a blueprint. It's a blueprint of how to do it, but do it your way.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of sports documentaries in general, like 30 for 30s, E60s, like those in general are either just first that come to mind, but any old sports documentary, I'm most likely going to watch it. I got
in a conversation about Prime again this week, and a guy's just like, he's like, I just really hope he doesn't, just keep chasing money. And I'm like, hold on. I was just like, I went over the conversation I had with you about being a competitor. And I explained that to him. I was just like, you look at Nick Saban. I was like, he was only at Michigan State for 4 years. And I was just like, was it 4 years? I went and looked it up. It was 4 years, from 95 to 99. I was just like, and he literally took a job that paid way more money and also had a program that, was going to be competitive.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is what these guys are doing. I was just like, Chip Kelly. I was just like, he gets to a point where this is as far as I can take this program. Maybe the recruiting, the money, all that stuff isn't there.
I picture this is as far as I can take this program. Now let me go just bust in the NFL.
Yeah, but but everybody did what they could do.
Saban busted in the NFL too.
What's the boy's name that is a USC's coach now? Kiffin.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin.
I was just like, he was at a very big program, and he decided I can't do anything more here.
Yeah.
So he went to, and I get it was fiscal also, but I mean, these are decisions that just coaches make. I'm like, we're putting this wrong thought process on why Deion can't do this. I was just like, he was there for 3 years. I was like, so he was there a year less than what Saban was at Michigan State for.
Yep.
That's not, to me, that's not that drastic.
No.
I was just like, and if he goes to Colorado, which Colorado is a good enough college, or excuse me, a big enough university where, yes, if he can get success there, maybe he never leaves. But I'm like, but we also don't know what his desires are. I'm like, maybe he wants to go and coach at his alma mater. You know, maybe he wants to do that. Maybe that's what he's going to consider the end thing. You know, try and follow in line with Bobby Bowden. You know,
Yep.
You know, we just always just want to just sit there. You were here, and now you're just taking advantage of kids. Every coach takes advantage of kids.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, like I didn't want to.
It's their job.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
You know, I mean the only well, in basketball though, because the way it's set up, it's the most legitimate job lie that, or not even lie, just, you know, conversation you can have, like what, Calipari?
I was just gonna say Kentucky.
Yeah, you know, you go to
our go-to one.
all
and
you
done.
gotta go is 1 year, and I'll be your father figure for 1 year, and then you're a man.
Right. We're making millions. Hopefully.
You know, so I mean, you know, I was just like, I didn't get it, and he kind of backed off of what, you know, once I was kind of broke it down that way, but you know, It wasn't about me winning it was just winning a conversation like that. It was just more of a
It's perspective, man.
Yeah.
That's what conversations are.
So, all right, let's see here. So, what I wanted to get into now was, you mentioned it earlier, there were some football games yesterday.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Now, I didn't get to see the Alabama game when Bryce Young went fucking unconscious. Mm-hmm. But the game I did get to see was the TCU Horned Frogs against...
I wish it was the Horned Frogs.
against the Michigan River Rats. Yeah, those guys. Rivet. Yeah.
What a game.
So,
You know, it's fun. So
that turned out way different than I anticipated.
not me. I predicted 72-3 earlier that day. That clearly didn't happen, but
There was no defense, that was for sure.
What's funny is, so I was running out with my neighbor to get some food, and I had it all planned and timed out where I'd get back right before kickoff. And, well, you know, they were struggle busing over at Lee's, so I took a minute to get our order. But long story short, we finally get back. By the time I turn on the game, it's like 20 minutes into the game already. Dude, like I miss it. Yeah,
There was so much going on.
They were fucking up at Lee's. For real, though. I'm like, where the fuck's our chicken? But anyway, so I turn it on, right? First
Wait,
play.
you don't have the YouTube TV app on your phone?
I just wasn't watching it on my phone. I was
right.
driving. I know when I have I operate my phone TV different when I'm by myself or if I have people in the car.
Word.
So trying to be responsible. And turn on the game. First play, Max Duggan throws a pick. I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, as soon as I turn it on, I'm like, all right, they got the lead at least. That's good. Next play was J.J. McCarthy's bomb, where they ended up downing him at the half-yard line instead of the touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
first play, pick. Second play, I thought it was a touchdown. I'm like, nope. I turned the shit off, bro. I'm like, if that's what it's going to take, I'm not going to watch the game. Next time I check, I look at my phone, I'm like, 14-3? What happened to their touchdown?
Yanked it back. His knee was
Turn
down.
it back on. Literal second play, Michigan touchdown. I'm like, what is going on right now? No, well, it was something, a big play. And I was like, okay, fine, I hear you. I turned it back off and kind of went about my business. And so, yeah, that's when I texted you guys. And I was like, what the hell did I miss? I go, I can't watch right now because every time I do, it's Michigan's doing something great.
And the very first play of the game, Michigan fucking ran for like 30 yards.
So, yeah.
I mean, they were just making...
Yep.
I almost turned it off at that point.
So we'll skip over all that, and I turn it on going into the second half, or in the second half, which was by far the best half to watch of that game.
Yeah.
It was outrageous how much scoring was going on. But yeah, man, the TCU Horned Frogs end up keeping their lead. Yeah, upsetting number 2 undefeated Michigan. Easily an upset. They were 13-1 or 12-1 coming into that game. TCU was so, and they earned that third spot.
Yeah.
I think we discussed that when we were talking about our.
It was
top
hard to
four.
put them out of.
Yeah, and I was like, they're undefeated. I go, they've beaten enough teams. They deserve to be there. Period. End of discussion. So, and they proved last night why they deserve to be there. Last national championship, I think, I don't know if it was TCU went to or TCU won, was 1938. Kind of a big deal for that university to be back in this limelight.
At least they didn't go a century.
Yeah, dude, no shit. And I think, the big talking topic for me, and I did throw down like a ton of notes about this as I started to research and learn more about this kid, Max Duggan, TCU's quarterback. That dude's had one crazy ride to get to this national championship. I had heard when TCU first started hitting the scene about a condition that he had, but I didn't look into it or anything. So I did some more research on him, and of course, with him national championship bound, I think a lot of people are going to start hearing this in the media over the next week leading up to this game. So back in 2020, Max Duggan, when he was just testing for COVID, when everyone was going through their regulatory COVID testing process, he was diagnosed with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, which basically causes the heart to beat irregularly fast for periods of time. So his heart would just start beating out of control, life-threatening type thing sometimes. And he was diagnosed with that, which is huge. So he had to get surgery pretty much immediately. It was a 9-hour surgery to help fix his heart condition. And 2 days later formed a blood clot from the surgery and had to go under the knife again to get that taken care of. Pretty big life-changing experience, I'd say. But both went successful, feeling better. So he's good in that boat. That was all in 2020. So 2021 comes around, and he breaks a bone and tears a tendon in his foot in 2021 before the season. Plays on it, hurt the whole season. Doctors were astonished of his pain threshold because they're like, yeah, every step, every break, every plant, everything he does, it's going to be affecting this injury. It's not like a low-key tear where, it only happens if he's jumping. No, this dude hurt walking.
Just living.
And played the whole 2021 season. 2022, brand new coach comes in from TCU. And even though Max Duggan had been a 3-year starter for the university, he gets named the backup quarterback this season. And in the very first game of the season, their younger quarterback got hurt. So in come Max Duggan, leads his team to a third.
Allow me to reintroduce you.
Dude, yeah. No kidding. Comes in, leads his team 13-1, beats Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl, takes him to a national championship. And, he was a Heisman hopeful, Heisman finalist, one of 4 in New York. And now he's going to the Natty to try and win TCU a national championship.
It's nuts.
What a ride. What a ride. Hats off to that kid.
No shit. And he's huge. What is he, 6'7"?
No. I don't think he is.
He's
that
like 6'5", 6'7". He's.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. That dude can run the football too, man. He's an impressive quarterback. I don't know what that translation looks like going to the NFL. But
my bad. He's 6'2".
Yeah,
but he looked like a fucking
I didn't
giant.
think he was big.
Maybe it's because he played like a giant. I didn't know he had that. I did not notice that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
But I was also
there. You go.
I didn't also. They had that fucking game on 800 ESPN
oh my
channels.
Goodness!
And so
YouTube TV pops up and it's just like TCU Michigan, TCU Michigan, TCU Michigan, TCU Michigan.
I was sitting there, I had the one where for the longest time because I was like. I thought I was just on regular
You're
old
probably
ESPN.
on ESPN News or
I
something.
thought I was on regular ESPN, and it's got 2 different camera angles of play, so the boxes are smaller, and then it's got each coach. So I'm sitting here going, this is a terrible way to watch this. I'm getting pissed. And then
let me try one of the other 4 networks.
but it took until like second half for me to fucking come up with that.
Damn.
Idea.
Okay, that's a lot of football. Not attempting. But
I did enjoy the fact that they had a running like how many yards.
Yeah.
And all that shit. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's one thing I do like about with Prime in the NFL is I always watch that channel. It has all the fucking stats on it.
Yeah.
So I have a Michigan question for you. They've won, since Jim Harbaugh's been there, they've been to 7 bowl games, and they've lost 6 straight. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. This team is making leaps and hurdles up to where they want to be.
You don't accidentally end up.
But at what point do you be like, you have to win a bowl game? I mean, it's a serious question.
Yeah,
This isn't a Michigan question.
I would say if you're a Michigan fan or alum or any involvement with that university, the answer was every year you're supposed to be winning. You don't go to Alabama or Clemson or Georgia or South Carolina or any
LSU.
Of these. You don't go to these giant programs and saying, boy, I hope we get one in the next 10 years.
A bowl game, right?
That doesn't. Yeah, and I guess that's my point. It's like we're not talking national championship, just winning your bowl game, which Natty's always the goal.
Natty's
always the goal. But when you make your bowl game, I mean, dude, it's a big deal to make a bowl game. Or, excuse me, it's a big deal to not make a bowl game over making a big bowl game.
Yeah.
Like, let's be fair. If you're 6-6 and you win, the couch bowl, it's still cool.
Spartans didn't go to a fucking bowl game.
No, I know, but that's my point, though. Is had we made one with 6 wins, I'll be honest, I wouldn't be flaunting that bowl win. I wouldn't.
But I'd still expect to win.
Yeah, of course, you expect to win every week. But I guess what I'm saying is that's why I said, as a Michigan fan, as someone in that organization, it has to be every win matters.
Yeah.
There's an expectation.
I'm just sitting there, I was just wondering, I mean, like, do you start at some point, like, I feel like Jim Harbaugh has went from, this could be a hot seat moment year for him to, okay, nope, he's good. To at some point, and you like this. I mean, after losing again last night, it's like, what are we happy for? Big Ten championships? Is that all we're caring about? Yeah. Or do we want to win?
Which you've only gotten 2 of those.
Yeah. And what? 7 years.
That's all I'm saying. Is once again, for the Block M, Ohio State
has dominated,
and I would even say probably Penn State because of their history.
Yep.
Those are the only 3 schools, in my opinion, that we are supposed to win every single year.
Yeah.
Everyone has the mentality, but I'm talking about historical greatness. As much as I love Sparty and what D'Antonio gave us the last couple years, for me, that was so special because I know that's not a university expectation.
That's not a norm.
D'Antonio brought that into our program. And I give him credit. Did he finish strong? Not at all. But that doesn't discredit those dominant fucking years that he had. For 8 straight years, he made us, and even if we weren't winning the big rivalry game in the state, okay? Mm-hmm. Even the ones that the very few he did lose.
Right.
Go green.
Go white.
He was still taking us to relevant bowl games. That would be our one loss of the season. Mm-hmm. We still played great football, and we made it to a playoff.
We made the inaugural playoff.
And the first one.
We got wally-whopped by Alabama.
Wally-whopped. Holy shit.
That's when my respect, bro. I hate Alabama.
Yeah.
But, excuse me. I root against Nick Saban. So it's not, I don't want to say it's an Alabama thing. It's not because.
Agreed. No.
I root against him. But then after he just fucking patted us on our butt.
Destroyed us.
And I was like, you know what? I started realizing how great that dude really was.
Yeah.
I was just like, shit. Look what he's done in his career.
Yep.
So,
long story short, Jim Harbaugh, they got to win. I'm sorry. The crazy thing is even being Sparties, we both sit here and we fight for that man. I think what he's doing for U of M, if somebody was like, oh, Jim Harbaugh's going to go to Michigan State, and it would have been 7-8 years ago, I mean, first of all, I didn't want him going to Michigan because I knew that he would probably do good things.
I didn't want him going to Michigan because that gives Michigan too much like, ooh, hey.
But that's what I'm saying. But I mean, he had a track record.
Yeah.
You saw what he did for Stanford. I can't remember who he was with before Stanford. I'm sorry.
San Diego State or something like that.
So whoever it was, Jim Harbaugh has been successful as a coach. Mm-hmm. And so I knew going to Michigan, I was like, oh, fuck. I go, the recruiting's going to fucking get better, which they don't need help with. They're top 10 every single season. All you have to do is say, hey, come here. This is our campus. Look at our facilities. See how money doesn't matter? We have fuck you money.
Yeah.
Come here. And it works. And they have great academics. Let's not hate. They have great academics.
One of the best medical schools.
Dentists.
Like, there's a reason why they actually...
Freaking doctors. Come on.
It's considered like an Ivy League school, but not an Ivy League school.
Yeah, they're an Ivy League wannabe.
Yeah.
That's literally... That's what people say. That's the joke. But yeah, what they contribute to society as far as like professionals, lawyers, like I'm like, hey, I appreciate you guys.
Well, they got like the richest alum that actually give back to the school.
So yeah, they're booster club.
So you know, like we realize what's going on over there.
But nonetheless, with all that being said, to my point, you have to win your bowl games.
Yeah,
because of everything we just said. You have to win your bowl games. I'll speak for myself, even though I know you agree. I hate teams and people that get put on pedestals for no reason. Michigan has gotten put on a pedestal for a long time. This is, in my opinion, finally the first year where they said, this is why we're on a pedestal. You went undefeated.
They had a great season.
You went undefeated second in the nation. I can't hate on that. Ball don't lie.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie. What I don't like is you guys winning 8 games and then still being like, oh, we should have been in the Natty this year. Yeah. No. You lost 5 games you shouldn't have lost. You didn't even win the conference. Like, then you can start. That's why I keep reminding a lot of people, like, oh, don't forget about a fucking Ohio State.
That consistently won.
Why do you guys keep forgetting about Ohio State? How many national championships? They've won a couple.
Yeah.
And they've
2,
been, I think 2 maybe.
Yeah.
And they've been to how many? That's a dominant team.
Yeah.
I honestly put Ohio State up there with the Alabama, Clemson.
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia as of late.
Georgia's been in
the playoff like 4 years in a row.
Well, in the past, like since the playoffs have happened,
yeah,
they've been relevant in the playoffs a majority of those seasons.
Yeah, well, no, they were in the playoffs. Clemson and Bama ran the national championships.
Well, winning, I know. I'm talking about just being in the playoffs, being in that conversation. I thought that's
Isn't
what you're
this
going for.
Only Georgia's second or third? This is 2 in a row, but I don't know if they've. Hey, I could be wrong. I know they've been dominant. I kept thinking they were getting bumped. I think they lost a Natty, won a Natty, and I thought this was their third. I very well could be wrong on that. We're going to find out here in a second. But dude, I mean, regardless, we're basically breaking down the like dominant teams for the past couple of years. Regardless, if this number that at least I'm throwing out there is close or off, it's still a dominant
I'm looking.
score.
I want to see like playoffs. That's hold on.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, we'll go into the Georgia Ohio State game here in a second once we get this number because this is perfect time to transition into it. But yeah, dude, I will also say that I do think JJ McCarthy has a bright future.
So here's the thing. So like the playoffs started. I guess we weren't in the inaugural, were we?
Or were we year 2?
Yeah, we were year 2.
Yeah.
2017-18, they were there. Well, I guess, gosh, we've only had it for a few years.
Yeah.
So I guess you're right. I'm sorry. My bad. It just felt like they were there a lot more.
Haven't we only had it for like 6 years?
Yeah. 7 years. 2014-15.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, no, 8 years.
Yeah,
8 years. 8 years.
I feel like they were not.
It's because they
4 years ago they were knocking the door because I remember the fucking pit bull that we had on there.
So, anyways, they 3.
Yeah. 3 out of 7. That's a pretty good ratio.
No, I know. That's what I was saying. You're like, no, I've been to like 10.
Well, no, I'm talking about Georgia being close and being almost relevant.
Yes, yeah, but
anyways,
I'm sure if we looked it up, we would see a lot of Clemson and a lot of Alabama.
No, I got it. No, Alabama, Clemson.
I think has Bama missed it other than this year? I think they missed it one other time last year. Check last year.
No, not that one. Alabama. Okay, so 2019, 2020, they were not in.
Okay.
And well, this year.
Okay, so that's dominance.
Yeah.
I watched a recruitment video. This kid took a 5-star receiver. Can't remember his name, and he had a buddy follow him around and kind of record his like visitation type thing. Dude, their trophy room in Alabama trophy rooms, plural. It's dumb. Every corridor you turn down, Bama makes sure that they have a trophy layout. Heisman's.
They're fucking
national championships.
Well, who's their guy?
Dude,
who's their guy before? Their big history guy. I keep on wanting to say Bear, but that's not right. Who's Alabama's coach?
Oh, coach?
Yeah.
Oof.
He's a big name. I can't think of it right now.
It's not Bear Bryant?
Is it Bear? It is Bear Bryant, yeah.
That's because didn't Saban just overtake him in national championships?
Yep. That's exactly right. Yep.
1 with LSU and like fucking 7 with Alabama. Fucking asshole. Who wins that many national championships? I haven't even won the conference that many times in my life. And that includes my Dolphins.
Oh.
That's actually not true. I think I've won the conference and the division
the guy's good.
at least 8 times.
So, going on to Georgia.
Yeah.
They played against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Damn.
And
go Buckeyes, bro.
That was a fucking game.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. I went through yesterday. I work with a Georgia guy, right? Like, and I was talking to a customer, and I sat there and I go, we were talking football, and I was like, dude, I was just like, it doesn't matter. I was like, the other 3 teams don't hold a candle to Georgia. The Georgia team is like, in my head, I'm sitting here going, this Georgia team is gonna outplay everybody. It doesn't matter who they play.
I said the same thing.
And
I said they're gonna blow out.
We looked at the Georgia's schedule and looking at the scores and how bad against ranked teams that they were.
Yeah, dude.
And I was just like, yeah, nobody. I'm not disrespecting any of these other 3 teams. There's not a chance. And then Ohio State said we them boys. Like,
y'all must have forgot. Let me reintroduce myself.
They were just like, yo, that Michigan L was a fucking fluke. We for real. And now they did lose.
Yeah. Barely.
but
by 1 point. Yeah. They didn't have a chance to win.
Yeah. I mean, that was a football game. That was a good football. Yesterday, both of them were great football games. So, Congratulations to all teams involved for giving CB and Clay some good TV to watch.
Yeah.
But that was a shootout, man. And I couldn't believe that. I actually thought Ohio State was getting ready to run away with it at the beginning. But then I was just like, man, this is Georgia.
It felt that way for a second, didn't it? Like, I was like, holy shit, dude. I think Ohio State's about to just... Ryan Day got these boys fired up.
Fired the fuck up.
Shout out Stetson Bennett. In our sports chat, Stetson was catching some mad heat about being a Heisman finalist. And I was just like, honestly, he led his team to an undefeated championship last year. They're undefeated this year. They're shitting on everyone they're playing. Why is Stetson Bennett not being talked about as most valuable for his team? Dude takes care of the football.
Yeah.
His numbers may not be like...
Right,
I was going to say like Reggie Bush. For example, just like these numbers, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how did you accomplish that?
Oh yeah, like
and they're not,
anything like that.
Yeah, dude, and they're not like that. They're very just respectable. But at the same time, like, so you could argue he's a game manager, maybe. But dude, every time
he's just like, put the ball in my hands.
Every time a big play needs to be made, he makes it.
Yeah.
In the national championship last year, or was it the It was either the national championship or the first playoff game. I can't remember. Led his team to a comeback fourth quarter victory. And then this year against Missouri, I forgot all about that game until it was the only game that they won by one score, if I'm not mistaken, in the season. And they were losing in the fourth. He drove his team down the field, said, "Fuck you, Missouri, and your upset hopes. Let me go ahead and finish this off."
Yeah.
Comes back and wins. And then this game, down 38-24 going into the fourth quarter, down 14 points, overcomes the biggest college football playoff deficit in history, which we now know is only like 8 years. But
it feels like it's been forever, though.
It does. But, I mean, it kind of has. Dude. It's almost been a decade.
Yeah.
That's a third of my life.
Quarter.
That hurt so bad. I'm so sorry. No, but and dude, fucking comes back 14-point deficit, stone cold.
Yeah.
Didn't waver. Didn't even have like a ooh moment. Nope, just completion.
Get me back out there, guys.
Completion.
Get me back out there. I'm gonna do something.
So, I just wanted to make sure I gave him a shout out because, I mean, dude, he wins.
Yeah.
He wins. Is he your prototypical superstar Cam Newton type guy? No.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget that, like, after all the starters that left Georgia last year, and there were a ton.
Yeah, there were.
And to still be dominant.
Yeah.
That's a program.
That's a program. And we got to remember they also were in the Natty, if I'm not mistaken. Was it 2020? They played Bama and lost.
Let's see here. 2020.
I could be wrong. I thought Georgia, maybe they were just in the playoffs, but I thought Georgia.
No, because it was 2017-18 was when they were in, and they didn't go back in until last year.
Okay. They lost in the. Did they lose? Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, right. What's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I figure, I don't want to go into, too much about the championship game because we'll talk about that next week. So, congratulations again to all 4 football teams that played yesterday. I know more teams played, but for the national championship because that was some good football. That JJ, he can play ball. Going back to Michigan real quick. I mean,
that's why I gave him a quick shout out.
He's fast, man.
He's playing some good football. It's just, I think another thing, and once again, probably because it's interstate rivalry, and I'm just jaded at anything Michigan has coming their way that's positive. It's about fucking time you guys have a quarterback that you can actually say is halfway good.
Yep.
I'm so tired of you guys getting 4- and 5-star cute. Well, I'm probably over-speaking on that. I'm sick and tired of you guys getting quarterbacks and saying Jim Harbaugh is just going to turn this man into a freaking all-star. And then it just fucking never happening, and then it's just excuses. Congrats. You finally have a quarterback you can at least be confident in.
Yep.
And you can be rightfully confident in. J.J. McCarthy showed out this season. There'll be a problem next year. Michigan will be a problem next year.
No doubt.
Yeah, they're going to still be a problem next year.
All right. So we were back from break, and we were kind of talking about how I was like, hey man, I can give you a few minutes to talk about Tua and your Miami Dolphins. And he goes, fuck that, Lamar Jackson show. So, and I quickly informed him that, Lamar's going to end up in Detroit. So,
y'all love Jared too much. Sorry, Lamar. Jared's our guy. He's got more grit. And you guys continue to be on the playoff bubble.
You want to know something? I think Lamar has good grit because he gets his team to the playoffs with nobody else.
Why people keep sleeping on him, dude? I don't know why people keep sleeping on Lamar Jackson.
I like the guy.
First of all, I still love me some Tua. We'll talk about that in a second. Lamar has never seen the likes of Tyreek and Jalen Waddle. Never.
Or J-Mo.
Name his best receiver of his career.
Marquise Brown.
Best receiver he's ever had. Mark Andrews. Sorry, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
You're a tight end. You don't get paid wide receiver dollars. Probably you should get paid more. They need to up that tight end cat. Something needs to get people like Kelsey have to keep raising that ceiling, bro. Because they get shafted a little bit. There's not many of those tight ends in the league though. And that's why they don't want that position to raise. Like, if I were an owner, if I were a GM, I'd be like, no, stop. Because, like...
Jimmy Graham tried to get it.
No, I know. Granted, I mean, with all due respect, as good as Jimmy Graham was there in the league, he's never been a Kelsey. Or
No. I beg to differ. When he came up to that contract, he was most definitely a Travis Kelce or a George Kittle or somebody like that.
Yeah, but he wasn't as consistent. Like, I guess I just think of that. He wasn't even the best tight end in the league asking for that money.
After he left New Orleans, that's when the fall-off happened. But he didn't even re-sign that contract when he was trying to get that money. But during those years when he was in New Orleans, I mean... I don't know. You talked to John Moore, but I would have to say that he was up there in that conversation of the best quarterbacks best tight ends.
Best, yes, but he wasn't elevating that position. He wasn't even the best at the position at that time.
Because he was playing a receiver.
No, well, I guess what I'm saying is if you're going to do it, you got to be the best, and he's not the best. Kelce is the best. No one comes close to Mark Andrews doesn't come close to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is transcending that position.
But I mean, like...
He's shattering all tight end records. Jimmy Graham never did that.
We're having the same but different arguments, right? Like, I'm sitting there saying, making me like have to remember Jimmy Graham back then. I can't even think of who the tight ends were back then either.
Rob Gronkowski. That's the only name you need to know.
But they didn't even really play him like a tight end, but he was listed as a tight end.
Right.
And he was out there making catches like a wide receiver, like Travis Kelce was making. But Travis Kelce actually comes in and plays more of the tight end position.
I was going to say the argument isn't off of skill; it was off of how he was being utilized by his team. So
because I mean he was more of a
that
receiver.
Is true. Yeah, no, he literally was treated like a wide receiver.
Yeah, except for couldn't get paid like him.
So, but I guess that's why I'm saying I don't think owners want that position to raise because New Orleans wasn't using him as a tight end. However, if the price of the tight end does start to go up, you're going to be paying guys like Dawson Knox, who may be a top 10, but not impacting the game like Stephon Diggs.
Right.
But now you're paying Dawson Knox $12 million more on top of what he... For example, I understand why owners don't want the tight end position to raise. There's not enough talent to keep it that high. So when guys like Kelce sign a wide receiver deal, for example, now you have mediocre guys. You know what I mean? Mike Gesicki right now, let's be honest, trying to also make 18, 20 million a season. And they're like... Your production doesn't come close to what this entire group of receivers brings to the sometimes. That's why I said Mark Andrews is a big exception in Baltimore.
Yeah,
but nonetheless,
I like Mark.
We're not here to talk about tight ends.
So
we're here to talk about loose brains.
Yeah. So I had for those that don't know, Tua is not going to be playing this week. It was said early this past week that he would not be playing, and I started, of course, he's a Dolphin. I was curious if that would, like, knowing that he was concussed during that game, and the venom that you came in with last week, does that change your opinion on it, and do you kind of like, okay, now I wish I would have known that, so I wouldn't have been so harsh on my opinion on it?
I don't even feel sorry or bad at all, because with new information, everyone's opinion changes. Yeah. Everyone's. No one's going to say something, find out he received a concussion, and go, doesn't matter. Like, what?
Yeah, right.
Is it a concussion? Yeah, it matters. Are you kidding me? That's like finding out your star basketball player tore his Achilles or tore his ACL and then played a quarter on it, but didn't impact the game the same. Yeah, that fucking matters. It completely changes someone's performance. So yes, first of all, it's just sad hearing that, because now this is 2 diagnosed concussions this season, potentially 3, depending on the Buffalo game, but not confirmed. But 2 confirmed cases of a concussion, and you're like, dude, some guys get this once every several seasons. I mean, severe ones, where you're like, you cannot play football. That, because guys get concussed and they'll be, will he play next week? And then they clear. Tua's even done that. So, that's one thing, and that's still serious. But for it to happen a second time and actually be pulled out of a week again, you're like, damn, dude, like, from previous pods that we've recorded, I'm not one to buy into, he's injury prone, stay away from him. Like, I'm just not that guy. You had high ankle sprain in college and hurt your thumb on a throw. I'm not going to say your future is now questionable because of an ankle injury and thumb injury. That's just not me. Reconstructive hip surgery, that was a huge one to overcome. Tua has proven that you can come back from that and quite literally be an elite quarterback in the NFL. Basketball players have overcome the impossible. Hockey players have done it. Baseball players have done it. All players of all sports have overcome huge surgeries, reconstructive surgeries, and competed at the highest of levels, at that elite level themselves. So I'm not going to ever say injuries will hold a player back. But now that we know more about head injuries and how they impact you years after you're done playing the game, it is concerning that he has been so susceptible to these concussions. Because did you actually see the replay of him banging his head against the, Packers? Dude, he's hitting his head fucking hard. They're not like, damn, that was kind of weak. Like when Teddy got his concussion, and you probably weren't watching the game or see the replay. When he got his concussion, dude, it was off of a hit, normal football play. No, and this can happen to players. They just get bumped wrong. Boom, concussion. It's everyone's body is different, and everyone will receive trauma to the head differently. The brain will bounce around and react differently to certain hits, to different angles, different pressures. And so I would be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about Tua's health. Dude, that's too many concussions too quickly. Like the noodle is not, it's not as secure in his head.
It's just
as
liquid.
Another human being.
I was gonna say,
it just floats
it's just
around
liquid in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So cerebellum.
So yeah, dude, there's definitely concern. And you also asked if my opinion from our Christmas pod changes, and yeah, dude, it does change. I had this little picture that I sent over to some of my Dolphin peeps, and if Tua's concussion occurred on the play that we all saw the replay on. Before that concussion, his stats were 9 for 12, 229 yards, averaging 19.1 yards per attempt on his passes with 1 touchdown, no picks. That's a super solid first half. He's on his way to almost hit 450 passing yards and a couple touchdowns with no picks. If that is when he suffered that concussion, which no one's come out and said no, so I'm assuming it is, 7 for 13, 81 yards, 6.2 yards per average, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And when you look at those side by side, and you do feed into he probably suffered it on that play right there. I mean, dude, that's a drastic difference. Now, reports have also said players, coaches, no one could tell Tua was acting different. And I believe that. He was probably saying the things he needed to say. He was probably looking at film on the tablet when he came off the sideline like he always does with the QB coach. He was probably just going about business accordingly. But you can't tell me once the football snaps and the speed of all those players hits, you can't tell me his brain wasn't affected at his response time, his ability to go through his progressions.
Right.
You know for a fact. Have you ever had a concussion?
So probably, but not anything where I was diagnosed.
So I've gone to the doctor, diagnosed concussion, fucked. It sucks. First of all, equilibrium's gone. Your thinking ability is way delayed, dude. I could understand how in a professional game of football, if he just was cognizant, but things just weren't moving as fast. It's the same as when you've been drinking. Shit starts to slowly slip away. Maybe your speech starts to slur. Maybe your reaction time isn't there. You start knocking stuff over because of your spatial awareness. Yeah. You don't really see it happening. It's a low-key progression. And, dude, as soon as he took that concussion, I guarantee over the next 2 hours that he was in that uniform in the locker room looking at just everything, I am choosing to believe he wasn't 100%. Just like I chose to believe that in Buffalo when he got hit, he probably wasn't 100%, but he still passed protocol. And the NFL already came out with their investigation again, and they were like, nothing upon concussion protocol was missed. Everything was followed accordingly.
I was going to say, from what I also saw, that there was no, he didn't show any signs.
No, exactly. When he got hit, when that hit happened, that's why we can't even confirm, because there's no symptoms to go off of. He was diagnosed with a concussion 24 hours after the game ended. So, like, he probably woke up and said, yeah, dude, I had a headache, didn't sleep well, like, I'm off. And they probably ran another, protocol test on him, then discovered, oh, dude, you have a concussion. So then what happens? They go back into the game film. Anyone with the recording of the game goes back to the game film. They're watching him every play, and oh, shit, look at this play with 2 minutes right before halftime. Bang. Yeah, it's probably where he suffered it. He hit his head really hard, dude. So, it took a lot to even figure out how it happened.
At what point do you feel that maybe the NFL or the Miami Dolphins should take some responsibility of just saying, we're not going to, like, if you're the Dolphins, we're not going to employ you anymore? And it's only because of health reasons. Mm-hmm. It's not because of the fact of the play, because as you've already pointed out, he's played phenomenally. Or the NFL just saying, I'm sorry, we can't as an organization have you play. I mean, realistic, we got to be truthful. He's had 3 within, 2 months' time. Even though the first one he wasn't diagnosed with. But, at what point are we just going to be like, yeah, at least you can't play this year? A guy I worked with sat there and said, he's coming up with an idea, right? He's just spitballing. And it's not a bad spitball, but I was able to poke holes in it really quick, right? And that's where it becomes like, okay, how do you build something? He's like, you get a concussion, you're guaranteed out the following week. Mm-hmm. You get your second concussion in 1 year, you're out for like 4 weeks. Third, you're done for the season. Mm-hmm. And it's more of a, hey, we're just trying to protect you. It's not a punishment. But then, of course, I went into, how does pay work?
Right.
Because, like, are you going to dock him because you're not letting him play?
Right.
Or are you just going to eat that money and just say, we're doing this because this is just it? And I think realistically, you have to just continue to pay him normal pay.
Yeah.
And
if it's a protocol like
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I would agree
maybe the
with
NFL
you.
should adopt something like that to help protect these guys, because we've spoken about these guys being competitors, right? And yeah, he's gonna want to get back out there as quick as possible. He wants to, especially this year when you have a team that is very well good enough to make a very deep run in the playoffs. And of course, he's gonna want to be a part of that. Because he's essentially the driving force of it.
Yeah.
I mean, your quarterback. And I'm just wondering, like, do you feel that something like that would be more of a feasible option to have in? That's crazy.
Last week. Yeah, no, that's actually super smart. I never really thought about that.
Well, we haven't had to, because we haven't had a quarterback that's been, like, this continuously concussed.
I mean, yeah, that's a tough one to go off of right off the rip, because immediately in my head I'm like, there's so many conversations.
Well, that's what I said. I was just like, man, you poke holes into it.
You almost can't sit there and just chop it up for 5 minutes and be like, yeah, that would be perfect. Like, dude, there's so much
legalities that have to go into it.
You immediately start talking about pay and contracts and how do your pay incentives work, and how does that affect the organization? Is it considered IR? Can you pull a guy up? Are they non-active now? There's a lot of things that would go into that.
Can I cut this person without any legal backlash? Because now you're going to break a contract, because let's say it happens on a 4-year deal, but it happens in year 2, and you're like, I don't want to take a chance on this. Yeah. I can cut this money, save this money from spending. So, I mean, it's a lot.
Yep. So, yeah, I wouldn't have an answer. I would say that if the NFL went that direction, they just chose to go in the direction of, we're implementing this, doesn't matter how severe your concussion is, this is the rule, then I would just say it's one of those, okay, we live with this, and this is how we move forward in the NFL. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, at the end of the day, who can argue when, well, it's for your safety? Sure, there may be loopholes, there may be legitimate things players bring to light where it's like, because of this protocol, XYZ is the repercussion. It negatively affects us.
Well, it's going to be marketing. It's going to be all that shit.
It's going to be a lot of that stuff. And so, I mean, shit, ticket sales.
Yeah. But that hurts the organization.
The one thing, though, I was going to say the owners want to make sure continue to always flow well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I don't know what that looks like, but I will never at least look at rules that are there to help players with their health.
Yeah.
However, you did ask, like, when do you have that conversation and all that? I definitely think that Marino and Stephen Ross and Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel, I feel like a lot of these conversations are happening currently. I think it'd be unrealistic to talk to Tua about it post-season. I don't think it's a conversation that needs to happen with the player right now.
Right.
Just doesn't matter. Right now, you still go with team doctors. You go with your, your non-organization doctors, and you just have to follow the medical. I mean, here's
at this point, Tua should be investing every penny into making sure no route.
I mean,
like his brain's going to be good for his future. He's 24?
Yeah. So. I mean, yeah. As far as right now, yeah, I think he's like 25. Nonetheless,
young
right
as shit,
in there. To answer your question,
he's got a whole life ahead of him.
Yeah, and I agree. I just also don't think he's had 2 concussions, dude. You got to retire. I'm not there yet.
Yeah,
because I'm still a believer that we have medical professionals in place that they're doing their absolute best to ensure players don't get hurt. With every situation where Tua gets rattled like this again and gets pulled out and is being used as the league puppet, you also have other guys suffering concussions that don't even look like concussions, but they're getting pulled away for the protocol. I see good steps all the time. It's just that when a player is healthy, SportsCenter is going to be like, look at what the referees or look at what the Panthers organization did on this. He looks perfectly fine and they pulled him off the field to test him. Great job. We don't hear those stories. We only hear the missed ones. And to be fair, before Tua this season, how many media concussions were really in the spotlight like Tua's is with Miami. Dude, it's been which is good. It's bringing awareness. It's bettering the protocol. So by all means, I hate to say this, only positives from the league have come from Tua's unfortunate circumstance. We are bettering this league when it comes to the concussion protocol. Is it going to be perfect? No. Dude, nothing in the medical field is ever perfect 100% of the time.
Right.
How often do people go in for minor surgeries? That happen all the time. Oh, we had an issue. But shit happens. Like, I don't expect these people to be perfect. We're playing a high contact, high violence sport. No one is going to be perfect. It's just not going to happen. It is unfortunate that we can't be, but let's be realistic. And even though I mentioned that I'm still all for developing protocols to help player safety, I am still going to always say that these dudes, they are grown men. They know what they're putting themselves into. I'm not going to make this game to a point where it becomes touch. It is a like I said, high contact, high violence sport. And that's why these guys get paid hundreds of millions of dollars to entertain. It's the Roman Coliseum. They're putting their bodies and potentially lives at risk to get paid lots of money to play the sport they love and to entertain people like us. That's not to make them sound expendable, but I want to continue to further protocols and further player safety with an understanding of what's going on.
I think I don't disagree. But I also see the point of humanity's sake, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not...
the shield's got to protect the shield, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're not capable of performing the job without... They're not... How do I want to say it? They're not going to put somebody in a wheelchair to go up on a crane and work on the rafters building a skyscraper.
Sure.
Because are they capable? There's a very good chance. But guess what? Those wheels roll.
Yeah.
And it's too big of a risk. and now somebody dies, and now we get sued. All these other things, right? I mean, at some point, you're not doing it because you're telling people, I don't find you physically capable of able to do this job that I'm asking you to do.
Yep.
And
which does happen in the NFL.
Yeah.
To be fair, it does happen quite a bit.
In a kind of a nicer way of, I'm sorry, you're getting cut. We're not going to pick you up. We're not going to re-sign you.
Right.
We're not even going to offer you to a practice squad. So I don't know. I'm concerned for him as a fan of football. As a fan of seeing you be excited for your team to actually be doing well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
You're going to say relevant. It's fine.
I was trying not to be rude. So like, and I just was just kind of curious on, your thought on that because of the fact that I was curious of when do we say, sorry, kid, you can't play no more? So
I would say in the off season, there need to be some heart, like kind of coming to Jesus conversations of, we need to understand where your head's at as far as your future. Like, tell me what you want your future to look like. And we need to...
And not football related. I want to know how you as a human being want to be.
That's what I mean. And I think that's why I said it's not I'm your head coach or I'm your owner or I'm your GM or I'm your quarterback. It's, you're a human. I'm a human. Like, I'm a father. I'm a husband.
Yeah.
He's a grandfather. You know what I mean? Let's talk as people.
Do you want to live like we live?
And I just want to know, what are your goals? What are your ambitions? Like, what does football mean to you? What does your family mean to you? Because we know how Tua feels about family.
Yeah.
And let's really get to, even though they know each other, but let's figure out ultimate goal here, man.
Yep.
Ultimate goal. Because as much as Tua could want this, if doctors are literally, if a family doctor came to me and was like, look, I love watching you on Sunday. I'm just letting you know, one or two more, man, it could impact your walking ability.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping it real.
That's the kind of shit I'm thinking about.
Facts, looking at case studies, facts, just letting you know what could be. Mm-hmm. And if it's one of those, if you continue, Tua's, at the end of the day, the first step is Tua.
Yes.
Tua has to find peace in either knowing when to hang it up, or if he knows, he can keep going. No one knows how he feels. Past that, then I'll be honest, it's a business decision. And Ross and Greer, not even McDaniel, really Ross and Greer sit down and they say, all right, is it not fair to say this is a slight gamble investment?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I hope the best for him. Tua is still my quarterback. I'm not turning my back on him. But I have legitimate concerns after this happening multiple times.
Yeah.
And to be fair, even though, once again, I'm not the injury guy, he's had multiple other injuries that have kept him out. He's yet to play a full season of football. He's 3 years in, and he's yet to, I don't think he has passed 12 games in a season yet.
No, because did he get injured his first season, or was it just
all 3 seasons, homie?
Really? What happened his first year?
It was like a hip or not a hip. It was like a broken thumb.
I just knew he was coming off the bench there for a while.
I can't remember. He was. Fitz started 2 years ago, but I can't remember what years he suffered what injuries. But I know he had a thumb. I know he had a knee or an ankle. It just little things have kept him out.
Well, so I wish your team best of luck as far as that goes, and I wish Tua best of luck on this, because all I can think of is that those are scrambled eggs up there, and I would really like to not see that be a thing. So.
Yeah, facts.
Let's get into some pick'ems. I don't know how it's looking for me. Probably not good.
Well, you did your best.
Yeah, teams aren't winning. That's supposed to be winning.
Agreed. Dolphins should have won. I agree.
I bought into your hype of these Dolphins. No, I'm joking. Where are we at?
I don't know. My dad's questioning if I'm going to be at the bar for this Finns game. Does he not know me? Hold up.
You're the one that almost made him not go.
What are you talking about?
No, your dad is the one that made you not go because you're like, oh, I'm going to get to watch it from home.
Well, he was like, you know, watch them from home. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, there's no way they're on TV. So when I looked it up, I told him, he goes, oh, my bad. I thought I saw something about him. See you at Shakes then, question mark? I'm like, what the fuck you questioning me? Of course I'm going to be there. Sorry, no, my dad listens to these. It ain't like that, Dad, but come on now, have faith. It's, I will see you at Shakes then, son.
And we will get nachos.
Yes, we will. Pick 'em. Sorry.
Yep.
All right. So, got to go recap week 16.
Well, I was going to say, like, I guess we could probably just go to Sunday games, right? Or do you just want to do them all real quick?
No, I mean, no. The only one we have to talk about is Monday, Chargers Colts.
Yeah.
Because we recorded
Monday
after all of these games. Yeah. And we both had Chargers and Chargers won. So, long story short, I went 11-5 last week. CB went 9-7. So, let's see, 11, 15, 16. Nope, I got to add my victory. CB, I'm doing a lot. Can you put a win in my column for me real quick? No, I got it. I'm just fucking with you. So, that makes me 7-5-4. CB, 5-7-4. You could win these next 2 weeks, though, and tie.
Detroit Lion it.
You could win out.
That's what my Lions are trying to do.
You could win out. You wouldn't have me in overall picks, though.
That's fine.
I think I got that one locked up. Unless I really fuck these up. Like week 18, you just need to pick polar opposite of me and cross your fingers.
All or nothing, baby.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's go into week 17 then. Man, it almost feels like it's not NFL. I don't know why I feel that way. Probably because my quarterback is like in the hospital. Not really. It just feels that way. But like after yesterday's college football, I'm like, damn, I need this national championship game now.
Yeah.
It almost felt weird with. I also my Sundays have been weird because I played a Sunday night and then a Saturday night.
Yeah.
So like, I've had some really off Sundays the last 2 weeks.
I mean, we've been 1 o'clock every day.
Oh, we had
every
Christmas.
Sunday.
Christmas was a little different though too. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, you're right. Oh, we had a Christmas Eve game.
All right. Nonetheless, week 17. So Thursday's game we had Cowboys Titans, and Cowboys definitely handled business there. So I'm gonna get some dubs here in the old column. What's up with Dak, bro? Dude throws a lot of picks, doesn't he?
I don't watch enough Cowboy games to see if his line is just collapsing on him and he's just having to make bad decisions really quick or what's happening there. I can't. I wish I could give you a better answer, man, because I just don't watch a lot of Cowboy games. So.
Yeah, I really don't either. Brandon's a big Cowboys guy, so shout out Brandon for sharing all of our stuff episodes. So we'll see if his team keeps rolling. That win against the Eagles they had last week, though, that was a big win.
Huge.
Yeah, big for the Cowboys. Cardinals at Falcons. We're both going Falcons on that one. Dude, Tyler Murray's still being out. I don't know what this dude's doing. I mean, I know he tore his ACL. It's kind of a big deal, I guess, right? So,
yeah, but he wasn't doing anything prior to that.
No. And, but like, it just, I guess what I'm saying is when he's not playing, my mindset of the Cardinals completely changes.
100%.
Like, I'm just like, even with D-Hop, though, bro, I'm just like, even he's not really eating right now.
No.
I guess Colt McCoy got hurt, so now Trace McSorley's been in there, and now we're talking third string QB.
Big shout out to JJ Watt, who announced retirement.
I was just getting ready to say something about him too, dude. Yeah, that kind of sucks.
He's been
relevant for so long.
He's been dominating for so long that
yeah. Even if you count his Wisconsin years, we're talking like 2 decades of
CMU.
Yeah, beating ass.
He was kicking ass in CMU. He
almost.
Wasn't. Yeah. Why did he transfer? He wasn't getting playing time at CMU, was he?
No one wants to go to CMU. That's why.
Go look at your Broncos.
No, but yeah, I mean, going to Wisconsin, shit, that was probably the best decision he ever made.
By far.
Got him drafted.
By far.
But yeah, nonetheless, we're both going to go Falcons. Steelers, Ravens. Both going Ravens on this one. Dude, I was back and forth on this one. It's a rivalry game. And like, dude, I'm not a big Huntley fan. I just don't think that dude's got it. And so I really wanted to go Steelers on this one, but I went with that defense, Ravens defense.
I almost went Steelers myself, and I was like, eh.
And I can't change because every time I change last second, it works out in your favor. So
you're going Steelers.
now I'm going to go Ravens. Damn. Bears, Lions.
Look at you picking the right team.
I went Lions. CB went Bears. Why'd you go against your team this game?
Not a chance. Got my Lions tee on right now.
Yeah, we both went Lions. Definitely still a big game. Justin Fields is playing out of his mind.
The big thing is just containing him. Excuse me. Containing him because, I mean, like, he had some big runs against the Lions the last game that we played.
Yeah.
And so, hopefully we can,
I think you guys will bounce back, dude. You guys, I mean, because your Carolina game, you guys were so off. You're back home. You're gonna protect. I think you're gonna protect the Den. You're gonna protect them against Chicago. Rivals.
That's gonna make. And if Green Bay can win this week, that's gonna make next week's game
huge.
Colossal.
Yeah, you guys. Man, you got to stop Justin Fields though.
No, he's the one and only target right now.
You gotta, because you guys are going to be fine getting pressure. You got to make sure you're spying that man.
It's the second.
He's just going to climb the pocket or
level.
go around.
It's the second level that we gotta be able to stop him at. So,
so we'll see how that goes. Jags at Texans.
Jags, we trust.
Yeah, we're both going Jaguars for that one. Texans have looked good lately, though.
They have.
They've given some good ass teams runs.
Yep, Lovey got them pumping.
Yeah. Broncos at Chiefs.
Surprised you didn't go Broncos.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't go Broncos. Russell Wilson on the road, very unsuccessful this season. I know you're a big underdog story guy, so I thought for sure. You want to switch?
No, I'm good.
You're going to stay?
I'm good.
Okay. Just didn't know if you were riding with Bronco Country.
I tried to ride with Bronco Country a couple times this year.
Yeah,
they're
bad, dude.
They lost a lot.
Shout out KJ Hamler and Jerry Jeudy, though, dude. They got their QBs back.
Yeah.
They were both on Twitter, saying, yo, chill. This dude's work ethic, the time he puts in, it's unprecedented. Stop disrespecting my mans. He's out here busting his ass. He has not been nearly as successful as we're used to, especially Russell. I mean, probably future Hall of Famer, realistically. You got a Super Bowl under his belt.
I got to look at
I swear he's got an MVP, too. Maybe I'm wrong.
I got to look at that. Now I'm not going to do it now, but I mean,
no, yeah, but
I'm not for sure about that one.
So I feel like he's so relevant, dude. He set records. He was the first QB to really do it with his legs and his arm, but be successful, be steady, winning games, going to the playoffs, going deep.
Right.
So, but yeah, maybe that's something we have to look at. But yeah, nonetheless, I guess we'll both settle for the Chiefs this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. And then we got Finn's Patriots. I'm somehow going to root for Teddy Bridgewater to win this, and CB went Patriots.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I know Tua getting hurt changes things.
That changes everything to me.
You also were saying how the Patriots were going to be a really tough game for us. I think now it becomes more tough. But was it last week? Let me look at the schedule. Who did the Patriots play? And he got fucking embarrassed. I know they didn't have a bye. Bengals. Bengals are a good team, though.
Yeah, I was just like,
Oh, yeah, and then they lost to the Raiders 2 weeks ago. I still think the Patriots have a really good defense that keeps them relevant, and I think they have an extremely overrated offense. Ramondre Stevenson was hot there for a minute. He's gone completely cold, and Mac Jones can't win football games on his own. So yeah.
I think it's I only went against your Dolphins because of the fact that there is no Tua.
No, I agree. I'm with you, dude. I mean, you think I'm going into this game like, oh, this is a lock? No. I'm like, oh, shit. Teddy, don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm honestly hoping for, bro? Because New England's got a good defense. And, of course, who do we play week 17? Fucking Jets. Another team with a great defense. And I'm just like, Raheem, Jeff, fucking run that ball.
Try something.
I mean, did you by chance watch any of the Finns Packers game?
Parts of it.
Okay, so the last 3 weeks, we've had pretty good rushing attacks. At least the 2 weeks, I know for a fact. And we keep getting away from the run, dude. I'm really hoping this is the week where Mike goes, I don't have Tua. We should probably run the fucking football. But the problem is now we're going against two defenses who have phenomenal run defense. So, like, I am slightly concerned.
A lot of reverses.
I'm not scared. The Patriots aren't that good. I think Teddy and the Dolphins can get this done. You still got Hill. You still got Waddle. Fucking 5-yard drag.
That's the reason why, like,
Teddy, get them the ball. Let them take care of business.
I told you earlier that, because you're like, oh, you don't believe in Bridgewater either. And I was just like, well,
I was just giving
once again, he's a quarterback that's never had talent like what you guys have there. So, good luck. I just don't think it's a thing.
I mean, he did have Michael Thomas.
They didn't do too bad, though.
No, not terrible, but they also weren't great. All I'm saying is Teddy Bridgewater doesn't lead teams to, like, championships.
No,
he's just not that dude.
So,
all right, Tua, come back for week 18.
Fuck it. Why don't
I'll roll those dice.
If you're locked in already, just keep them until the playoffs.
Yeah, we're not locked in yet. If we win today, I think we have like a 56% chance of making it. And then we still have to beat New York. If we beat New York, it's like 92%. It's a lock if we win out because these are 2 divisional games.
Right.
But beating New York is the bigger deal, I think, for us because they're like literally 1 game behind us in the playoff hunt. And we lost to them earlier in the season. Colts at Giants, both going Giants on that one. We have Saints at Eagles, both going Eagles. Panthers at Bucks, both going Bucks. Bucks can clinch the South with their victory over Carolina today. Browns at Commanders. I'm going Browns on this one. You're going Commanders. I was 50-50 on this one, dude. I like the Commanders as well. Commanders are at home. I think that bodes better for them.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson has, to be quite honest, looked mediocre at best his last 2 games, last 3 games. And but I'm really, dude, Chubb just hasn't had a ginormous game in like several weeks, hence why I'm not in the fucking playoffs anymore. And I just feel like that Browns run game is just due for like, especially Chubb, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, he's just due. And I think this is a big one for them to try and do that on the road. So that's why I'm going Browns.
I feel like I've went against Washington in situations where, maybe I shouldn't have. And they've been playing really good football this year, considering that they are the Commanders.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just Ron Rivera's got him pumping, dude. So I'll let him rock.
We got 49ers at Raiders. Both going Niners on that one.
There's a new quarterback in Las Vegas.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy's been playing unstoppable.
I'm more like these Niners look so good with their third string quarterback. Holy cow! Debo's supposed to be back, or maybe he's out.
He's out.
Is he out? Okay, I couldn't.
But I mean, they've been doing it without.
Oh, he was back practicing.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, you're correct. Bigger news: Las Vegas Raiders. Josh McDaniels benching Derek Carr. Derek Carr's not hurt. Derek Carr is not, to be quite fair, he's not really struggling that bad. But yeah, he is getting benched for the likes of the Raiders' second string. I don't know if he's a rookie. I can't remember. But basically, Josh McDaniels just said he wants to see what the younger QB has for the end of the year. Which, pretty indirectly saying, Derek Carr, you're done playing with the Raiders.
Which stinks because I think it stinks. I like Derek Carr.
I got nothing against him.
I mean, you look at Derek Carr's career, he's been a relevant quarterback for a lot of years, doing a lot with a lot less, and had a lot of different coaching changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And just personnel changes.
Yeah, personnel. I mean, like, he's been consistent, and it just really stinks to see. I saw his part of his little press conference there when he was, talking about it. He was upset, as you should be.
Yeah.
And I look around the league now, and I'm like, all right, well, if Derek Carr's not going to be there next season, where could he go? There's a lot of different conversations. I look forward to getting into that, but I immediately thought the Jets. But I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, like, I was just like, oh, like, they need somebody back there. And because they've been.
Are you threatening Devontae Adams in the AFC East? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
I'm not.
Is that what you're trying to bring to fruition? Because Elijah Moore wants out. You're telling me that they're going to bring Devontae Adams.
Elijah Moore wants out until they get somebody of like Derek Carr, and then he might probably be like, "All right, Derek, give me the ball."
I think they're going to get rid of him.
Oh,
I don't think they want the toxicity. They're like, we got Garrett Wilson. Guess who's fucking better than you, Elijah Moore?
Yeah.
That's my guess. When you have a player that's just like, I'm done playing. Then you guys aren't going to play me. I'm done, dude. Fuck that.
But it's fair on both sides. I mean, if I'm not going to get played, and I'm not.
It's his second year in the league.
He's good though.
He's not that good. Justin Jefferson says you need to play me more. Yep. Jamar Chase. Yep.
But you're naming people that are getting the ball. He's not getting the ball
because they're doing shit with it. Look, let's put it this way. You have not seen as many Jets games as I have. Elijah Moore shouldn't be talking shit.
Is he getting the targets that maybe he should, or or not should? Excuse me, I don't want to use the word should. Is he getting enough targets where he can be doing something with the ball? Because if his target number is low, then you're expecting a very high return on this. Where the names that you just gave, there's a lot of targets there for them to be able to make those big plays.
Okay, let's put it this way then. Amon-Ra St. Brown made a name for himself when he got his few opportunities and did something with them. He earned his way to where he's at now, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I would say he made a ton of clutch catches. So what should
Elijah Moore do when clutch opportunities come?
Okay, that's okay. So you're getting to my question of, is he getting those kind of an opportunities to build his name up that way? If he's a first down receiver where he's only getting the look on first down, it's hard to do much.
Has the media gone into talking about how Elijah Moore is getting cheated, or is the conversation about Elijah Moore throwing a fit in New York saying he's not getting the ball?
I'm not looking for the story. I'm looking for like what is
right. But what I'm telling you from what you know, what have you heard? I've
heard more toxicity than anything else. I also don't know. That's the truth. But that's the reason why I'm asking the question, because I can try to build an argument. What I'm trying to do is build an argument for him, but I need the information, and I'm asking.
But you're seeking an argument, and you're looking for information for that one perspective. What I'm asking you is, if you hear that, what is your assumption? Do you think Elijah Moore is that kind of guy?
I don't watch enough Jets.
I guess what my point being is he's not that guy. He's not. We would be hearing about Elijah Moore, great receiver. Look at all the things he's done. Why is the offensive coordinator not going to him? That's not the story, because that's not
more. The story is fact. How good their defense is, and how trash their quarterback situation is.
How trash their offense is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was.
Breece Hall has been the only Jets offensive player that, once again, took his few opportunities, splitting time between three running backs, earning the respect and playing time. Elijah Moore was not doing that. Yeah. And the Jets are still bad with Breece Hall. They weren't winning a ton of games. They were winning some. I'll take that back. They were winning more with Breece on the field, actually.
Certainly.
They were, because then they got real cold. Now, to your point, Zach Wilson, garbage.
Right.
That dude's probably... Dude. So I read today that they're not going to get rid of him. They're going to keep him. I would be shocked if he starts for the Jets again outside of injury. I mean, dude, his numbers, they compared him to Jamarcus Russell. They're worse than Jamarcus Russell's stats.
Yikes.
Yeah, they're bad.
I'm not trying to die on Elijah Moore Hill. I was more of a questioning, is he even getting the opportunity to actually be the standout guy?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I guess.
So I mean, like,
other players have gone to New York, been in a bad position, but still shined a little bit. Still. I mean, that's why Garrett Wilson's name is still kind of relevant. Mm-hmm. All he did was take over Elijah Moore's snaps, and Garrett Wilson is catching the ball, scoring some touchdowns. Are they superstar numbers? No, of course not, because of their quarterback struggles, because of their lack of running the ball and being dominant on the ground. Elijah Moore, in the year and a half I got to watch him play, 3 games, because he's once again his second year, at least against Miami, he's a non-factor. And he was going against backup cornerbacks. So, I from what I have seen from him, he has not proven he has not proven the ability to sit there and have the right to complain about that. It would be the same as when we go back to like a holdout from Melvin Gordon, who had a track record. You know, we're getting into holdouts now, completely different topic. But we could at least sit there and be like, okay, he's been pretty successful. Like, if he needs more money and he's playing that position, I get it. Compared to, who was another dude that was, Michael Crabtree? Someone who held out and we're like, bro, what are you holding out for? You got carried to a Super Bowl. Like you're not.
That defense was insane.
Yeah, it was. And you had not Marcus Mariota, Colin Kaepernick, who was just having a mind-blowing season.
Who was the tight end?
The tight end
Vernon Davis. Savage. Frank Gore.
So my point being, is
hitters.
Michael Crabtree, mediocre, but not. Once again, that offense firing on all cylinders. He was like, I don't get the ball enough. I want more money. I'm sitting out. And it's just like, bro, earn it. All you have to do is earn it. That's the one thing I don't understand. Melvin Gordon, great running back, kind of earned the ability in his later years. Did it work out for him? No, obviously it did not. However, he held out. He was a vet. He'd been in the league for 8 years.
About that time.
Because he was off his second contract when he was like, I need to ensure I'm getting more money. Because I'm pretty sure he re-signed off his rookie deal after like 4 years.
Yeah, I'm not for sure, but no, I get it.
Because
it was more of a, I had questions because like I still think that Elijah Moore is a good receiver. Now, and if you're unhappy about the looks because of the fact that your quarterback sucks, I don't want to be here because I can't flourish.
Yeah.
Who are we on here?
Cheap way out. Little pussy.
Vikings at Packers.
Yep. Vikings, Packers. Both going Vikings.
Because I want them Packers to lose.
Yep.
No
Should have lost last week. Packers aren't that good of a team.
No, they're not.
They're really not. And Aaron Rodgers, part of the reason Aaron Rodgers is not Hall of, he's Hall of Fame, but he's not playing at his peak. Just like Brady, not playing at his peak right now either.
Correct.
Rodgers, Rodgers does have younger receivers. But we see what Christian Watson could be. Good call on him, by the way. I know you were big on him before the draft.
Dude's huge.
That dude is.
He learned. He dropped that one pass at the beginning of the season,
right?
And he learned real quick.
He took off like week 7, week 8, and holy cow, he has not looked back. So the point I'm getting at is I think their offense is fine. Still got Aaron Jones, still got AJ Dillon. You know what I mean? You still got dudes.
Yeah.
And they're just not winning football games. So, but anyways, yeah, Vikings, dude. We just talked about Justin Jefferson. He's 209 yards away from breaking Calvin Johnson's single season receiving yards record.
I hope he doesn't do it.
I would like to see the Lions stay on top, but if someone's going to do it, let it be a guy who legitimately should be there.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp came like 13 yards away last year, deserves to be there. Justin Jefferson deserves to be there.
Justin Jefferson's
he can't not catch for almost 2,000 yards and not deserve to be there, but like, for Justin Jefferson to do it so young, dude, it's like, holy cow. Hey, like I said, Sparty Kirk Cousins leading him there, though.
I know, right?
That's kind of
cool.
Go
green.
Go white. Rams, Chargers. Both going Chargers. We're both going against Baker. The winning streak ends here, Baker.
I fucking need it to.
And I need the Chargers to lose, actually. I do need them to lose. They're on that bubble right now.
Those Rams winning,
too.
fucking up my draft.
Yeah, I don't care about your draft, though.
You should.
I don't.
You don't care about my happiness.
I don't care about your happiness when it comes to NFL. That is correct. Outside of the game of football, I care about your happiness.
Thank you.
Yeah, dude, I got you. Bills, Bengals, Monday Night Football. Both of us going Bengals because the Bills suck.
False. I'm going Bills.
No, you're going Bengals.
I understand that.
So you don't care about my happiness.
Them losing.
Boy, how the tables have turned.
Yeah, no,
hypocrite.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It's a pick 'em, and I have to pick the right team. Not out of my heart here.
Hey, watch these Bengals. Watch these Bengals take these Bills.
Well,
down.
I'll be honest. I almost went Bengals on that, but I was just like, you know what? Like, it's still the fucking Bills, and Stephon Diggs is supposed to play, right?
I don't know, actually.
That could change, but I still think that the Bills win that one.
Bills at home makes things more difficult.
Then we have Thursday Night Football.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the Buccaneers at the Falcons. I went Bucks. because, well, the Falcons. Pretty good no-brainer for me. You going Falcons? Yeah. Look at you, Marcus Mariota. I love you.
Honestly, I don't know who I'd want here. I don't think the Bucs are playing great football at all. But I'm going to go Bucs as well. Well, see, my pick kind of depends on if the Bucs win this week. If they win this week, Brady will sit. They'll clinch the South.
Yeah.
So, like, realistically, if that happens, I don't know why I wouldn't go Falcons because they're going to sit their stars. They're going to sit Fournette. They're going to sit Brady. They'll probably sit Mike Evans, Godwin. Yeah. Why play any of those? None of that
game
stuff
doesn't
will matter.
mean anything. So it's not. You're not going to gain any position in the playoffs. So.
And the Falcons will be out, you know, unless they're wild card. But there's no way. Too many good teams in the NFC. So.
Oh, all right. Well.
So yeah, I guess I'm going Bucs as of right now.
I like it. I'll give you subject to change before Thursday.
Thanks, man.
All right, I got nothing else.
No, I'm good.
All right, man. Thank you again for joining us for what episode we at?
221.
221.
Make the best of your 2023 year, people.
Yes, sir. We're out. Peace.
Take care.